So before you get to packing your suitcase because of that one home you saw on Zillow in Clermont, it's important to know that your home where you live is much more important than just square footage and bedroom and bathroom. As quirky as it sounds, a large part of it is the vibe. And the phrase the vibe really translates to the amenities of the area. How does it feel when you're driving through the neighborhoods? Is it more of a rural scene or an urban scene or a good mix of both? That's the real purpose of today's video, to kind of show you Clermont in a way that you probably haven't seen before. Now, starting with South Clermont, which is mostly identified by the 34714 zip code, I would say the least charitable explanation of what life is like here would be that it's more of a plain type of vibe, more mundane. However, I'd prefer to sum it up in one word, which would be sufficient. It has sort of most of the components that you need to enjoy your day-to-day experience in any given area. You got your ER, which you're seeing here. You got your decent mix of national branded restaurants. I'm talking like your Five Guys or your Chili's or First Watch for breakfast. But there's also some cool local spots. Then you have your library, your tire shop, and your Walmart, and your Publix, and your Lowe's. So just the stuff that you need on a day-to-day. All the notable characteristics of Clermont, the topography, the lakes, are found in that north side. And so, for example, your breakfast days here might look more like getting something at Dunkin' Donuts versus having a matcha like I was on the top of Citrus Tower. Exaggerated a bit, but hopefully you can get my idea. What you lose in that sort of unique local flair of North Clermont, you gain in value being in South Clermont. The homes much more affordable. You do have a mix of resale and new construction. In particular, this day I was actually heading to a pre-drywall inspection for one of my clients that's building new in Clermont. There's a compelling case to make to say, well, if you are satisfied with what your day-to-day life could be like in South Clermont, without the extra frills of North Clermont, but you prioritize value and getting more bang for your buck, South Clermont's a really good choice for that. Quick little pause while we're going up north of Clermont, because I literally just got an email from someone that's looking to move, not to Clermont, but to another part of Central Florida. But I just say that to say, if you are interested in moving to Clermont as a real estate agent, I'd love to partner with you. So feel free, shoot me an email, info@orlandowithmario.com. And as we're leaving South Clermont here, get familiar with this road. It's called 27, US 27. It's going to be one of their main ways if you're in South Clermont or really North Clermont that you're going to travel around the Clermont area. And so right now we're going up to where we typically refer to as Wellness Way. This is the magical corridor where a lot of the growth is happening in Clermont. Think new big communities, think the Olympus project. Very important corridor for Clermont because it really is where a lot of the growth is going to happen over the next decade or so. But also this area is grounds for a lot of the big infrastructure projects that are promised for the future. One of which being the Orange Lake Expressway. That's going to connect this part of Clermont over into the Horizon West area, furthermore connecting it a lot easier to the rest of Orlando. Now we are officially in 34711. This is where traditional Clermont purists would say this is the real Clermont. The other Clermont, that's not real Clermont. But they're both Clermont guys. Let's just get along, all right? I will say, if you're considering like what the true Clermont experience is with the topography, the hills, the restaurants, like I just passed Akina, my brother actually put me onto that one, so shout out to him. Kind of like a Chinese fusion spot, really good. Downtown area, the lakes, the water, everything, the local events. This is really where a lot of that is taking place. And so it almost does everything that South Clermont does with the convenience, with the stores, the big box areas, the Lowe's, the Walmarts, the Publixes, and just makes it better because it has that and more. It has that and it has the local component. Alrighty, so now we're coming on to the next major road that you're going to be interacting with if you're going to be living in Clermont. We're leaving 27 and we're heading to 50. It spans west-east the Clermont area, so west going to Groveland, east going over into the Orlando area, really. You're going to pass Winter Garden, but then it transfers over into Colonial Drive, and you'll head straight into downtown Orlando if you follow that road all the way. So This side, again, the west side, is much more of the older Clermont. You can probably even see and feel it. You got a lot of these older buildings. You do have some really cool new stuff, which is where we're going to. I love the downtown area in Clermont, but this is definitely more along the older side. Going back to comparing South Clermont to North Clermont, this is truly where the energy is. People walking outside, biking, running, playing with their family at the local park, or being hungry like me and stopping in for a cheesesteak from Daniel Cheesesteaks, one of the awesome local spots here in Central Florida. That thing is heavy though. I could not finish one half of that thing in one sitting. For taste buds anything like mine, the taco spot in there is really good, by the way. It's actually my favorite vendor in there, so definitely check them out if you're around town. Funny enough, when I was sitting there and eating inside, somebody stopped me and just said, "What's up?" And they invited me to their local pumpkin patch, and we had a conversation. Shout out to Sam. He moved here from Tennessee about a year ago, and he's loving the Clermont area so far. He describes it as a big town, or big town amenities, but small town feel. That interaction is part of why I want you to kind of do what I'm doing. Go out, eat in these areas. You never know who you'll be talking to, who maybe has moved from the same place as you. Maybe you're watching this right now from Tennessee, thinking about moving to Clermont. Well, you got Sam here. Very emblematic of what the whole point of this video is, which is get out, explore the area to get a good gauge of whether or not you think it'll be your vibe. Now we're on the west quadrant, if you will, of that North Clermont side. Like I had mentioned, more rural, more typical kind of Florida vibe. Lots of homes with more land space, and it just overall has this kind of countryside vibe that a lot of people are attracted to. But if you're not, it doesn't mean that you can't find more established and developed communities in the north side as well. Typically, you'll see those centrally or eastly located on the north side of Clermont. But truly where Clermont shines is at sunset. Whether it's from the vantage point of being at Clermont National at sunset or over at Waterfront Park, Clermont looks amazing. It's an area that, as bustling as it's getting, it still has the ability to slow you down if you know where to go. It does a really good job of being both day-to-day sufficient, as is South Clermont, but this is truly where the essence of Clermont resides. Simultaneously, that's why it commands a higher price as well. The four walls that make up your home can sometimes, or most times, some would say, feel very minute compared to the feeling of being in the right community. Hopefully, you were able to see Clermont in a different light than you have before. And if you are thinking about exploring this neighborhood more, think about buying a home in the area, I'd love to partner with you as your real estate agent. So feel free, shoot me an email, info@orlandowithmario.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.